Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Excelente, and welcome to Test Day with Senor Cow Cow. So today we are going to get ready for the test. If you're in class today, we will be having the test at your class time on live on Google Meet. I will send out the code beforehand. Just like always, face cameras are required to be on, and it will be on paper. You'll send it in right after we're done, and uh, well, I can't remember. So there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I know what it was. There are 20 questions, okay? So really today we're just going to do the warm up and have the test. That's all I have time for in class. If you're in Spanish 3, stick around because I'm going to go over briefly the reflexives lesson, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. Here is your warm up. Saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now. And just to tell you, if you are not among those taking the test today, there's going to be 10 like this, 10 like this. All right, first one. Dogs interest us. Nos interesan los perros. Los perros nos interesan. Chocolate fascinates them. Les fascina el chocolate. El chocolate les fascina. Does school bore you? ¿Te aburre la escuela? ¿La escuela te aburre? I'm missing my money. I'm lacking it, in other words. Me falta mi dinero. Mi dinero me falta. I'm lacking it. It's not here. The book worries her. Whew, those vowels always trip me up. El libro le preocupa. Le preocupa el libro. Okay, and these last two. They find paper in their backpack. Encuentran papel en su mochila. So in English we would say in their backpacks, but in Spanish, since each one person has one backpack, you would just say mochila. And finally, we arrive late every day. Hopefully this is not true. Llegamos tarde todos los días. And there you go. So, if you are in Spanish 2, adios, study up. Hopefully you do well tomorrow. If you don't, prepare. Try again. Study, practice. If you're in Spanish 3, stick around. I'm going to briefly go over the lesson on reflexive verbs just to kind of introduce this. And then tomorrow, the plan is to practice and give you a worksheet over it. Okay? All right. So, Spanish 2, adios. Spanish 3, onward. Okay. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. This is not going to take very long. Okay, still recording. Okay, good. All right. So what we've done a million times in your Spanish career and this year is regular old present tense conjugation. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Y'all already know. I don't need to go over all that. Okay, for example, you tell me, yo escucho música. Ellos beben or toman agua. Okay, reflexive verbs. A reflexive verb is an action that someone does to him or herself. Examples of this are actions like brushing one's teeth or putting on clothes. Remember, if your hands come back to yourself, it's reflexive. Okay? So, bañar means to bathe. Bañarse means to bathe oneself. That little say at the end of the verb is there to let you know whoever is doing this, whether it's me or them or us, that person is doing it to themselves. Okay, here's to show you a very clear difference between regular and reflexive verbs. So your regular old verb, from the verb lavar, lavo el carro. I wash the car. Notice his hands. They are going away from him. He is washing the car. At the bottom it says, me lavo las manos. I wash my hands. This is something the hands have come back. Okay, this person is touching his own hands. Okay, so literally, here's what the sentence says: um, I wash on myself the hands. Okay, that's why you don't have to say my hands. If I'm washing it and it's on myself, we can assume that my hands are the ones growing out of my body. Okay, me lavo. Always these two parts. Spanish is very particular about knowing who's doing something and who's receiving it. So, I wash on myself. Here's another example from bañar, to bathe. Baño el perro. I bathe the dog. Okay, notice again the hands are going out, touching something else, like bathing a dog, bathing a child, things like that. And then this one says me baño, word for word. I bathe myself. Okay, my hands come back to me, touch my own body. That is me bathing myself. Okay, a reflexive verb looks like this: ducharse, to shower oneself; bañarse, to bathe oneself; cepillarse, to brush oneself. And then you would add, of course, hair or teeth, whatever you're brushing. Those are the only things you should be brushing. Okay, so when you conjugate the verb ducharse, you are actually conjugating duchar. Before anything else, you remove se. You get rid of it. It's gone. Okay, so you're working with duchar. Think of it like taking the cap off of toothpaste before you can use it. So duchar se. Get rid of it. So when you conjugate it, do it like always, like baño, bañas, bañamos, bañan, but you add one of these little reflexive pronouns. Okay, you have me, te, se, nos, os, se, and then your verb. So when using the verb ducharse, here's what you end up with: me ducho. I shower myself. Te duchas. You shower yourself. Whoever's doing it, the same person is doing it and receiving it, and that's the whole point. Okay, like I said before, in Spanish, you must always be clear about who is performing an action and who is receiving it, even when it comes to things like I give money to him. Okay, so your reflexive pronouns: me is for to myself, te is for to yourself, se to himself, herself, itself, you formal, nos to ourselves, os to you all's selves. It's like saying y'all shower yourselves. And se is to themselves or to you all. Just it's the same pattern we've always used. Okay, so here's a quick practice with the verb bañarse. Okay, so number one should say, I bathe myself in the morning. Okay, so remember, every single time, use one of these. Métese, no so se. All right, so pause for a moment and try this. All right, yo me baño por la mañana. Ellos se bañan en mi casa. Nosotros nos bañamos mucho. Every single time you need to put the little pronoun. Because if you don't, what they're waiting to hear is, I bathe myself. But you don't want to say, I bathe, and then you haven't told them who you're bathing. It's kind of like that. Okay. Now, let me see one other thing. I suppose I can go over, where's the sheet? All right, I'll go over, this is a sheet that I'm going to give you. No, this is not the right one. Hold on. Oh, it's in my email. We'll just do it on tomorrow's video. Let's not worry about it today. But you will get, let me just go back to myself here. Tomorrow, I will give you a worksheet in which you will have your list of all the reflexive verbs: bathe, shower, shave, put on makeup, dry off, as well as the toiletries, things like soap, shampoo, razor, towel. Okay? So we'll just worry about that tomorrow. And I will see you then. Adios.